Hello everyone, Dan here from the Next Issue Podcast. On this video, I'll be doing a review for Transformers Rise of the Beast. Now, as you can see, I'm out and about. I'm at Fan Expo Dallas. So not the usual place, so the sound may be a little bit different. I don't have my big microphone, and the lighting's not as good in the room. But anyways, I really wanted to talk about this movie. I got to watch it before coming over to the convention, so let's get into it. So Transformers: Rise of the Beast. It's a PG-13 movie with a runtime of 2 hours and 7 minutes. There is one after credit scene, so make sure to stick around for that. It's in the mid credits, so you don't have to stay all the way to the end. As of the recording of this video, we have a 52% on Rotten Tomatoes from the critics, 89% for the audience. I am somewhere in between. I'm not as low as the critics. I think I enjoyed the movie more than 52%, but it's definitely not as high as 89%. In this film, returning to the action and spectacle that has captured moviegoers around the world, Transformers Rise of the Beast will take the audiences on a 90s globetrotting adventure with Autobots and introducing a whole new faction of Transformers, the Maximals, to the existing battle on Earth between Autobots and Decepticons. That's not completely accurate. But we'll leave it at that to avoid any spoilers. This movie is directed by Stephen Caple Jr., who also directed Creed 2, and stars Anthony Ramos as Noah Diaz, Dominic Fishback as Elena Wallace. We also have the voices of Peter Cullen as Optimus Prime, Ron Perlman is Optimus Primal. I immediately recognize Ron Perlman. Peter Dinklage as Scourge, Michelle Yeoh as Air Racer, Pete Davidson as Mirage, and Lisa Koshy as RC. There's a few other characters as far as Maximals and Transformers and some of the bad guys, but those are what I would call the main cast. So, Transformers Rise of the Beast takes us on an exhilarating journey back to the 90s, capturing the essence of a bygone era and giving audiences a delightful throwback feel. From the pulsating soundtrack that transports us back to that decade to the vibrant cinematography reminiscent of 90s action films, the movie recreates the nostalgic atmosphere, allowing fans to relive their fond memories while also appealing to a new generation of viewers. I think this movie has some really interesting needle drops also because it is kind of a sequel kind of to the Bumblebee movie. It does take place in that same timeline. We are in the 90s. So there's really a lot of interesting stuff. It's kind of fun to go back to the 90s and see, how things were very different when it comes to technology, the world, and how some things are still pretty much very much the same. So that was really interesting. However, amidst the epic clash between these larger than life robots, the film does fall short on fully utilizing some of the minor characters. Specifically, some of the Maximals, we don't get a lot of backstory. They're just kind of there. So while the main cast, including Optimus Prime and Primal Bumblebee, like they all kind of receive the attention you would expect, uh, some of these other um, characters are just kind of left with untapped potential. These characters they could have added some depth, richness, or just a little bit more backstory. Unfortunately, their contributions remain largely on the periphery. It feels almost as if they're just there to kind of look cool and like, oh, you remember that thing from the cartoons, which this movie does a lot of. But when it does it well, it does it very well. But if it's not gonna do it at all, then why are we even playing the game, right? Uh, I'll say the CGI really seamlessly blends in with the world and the practical effects. Truly, truly immersive. Watch this in as big of a screen as you can. I think that attention to detail, to the robot designs, the transformations, the movements, is just a visual feast for the eyes, and it's really they really have managed to make sure that we avoid what was happening with some of the older Transformer movies where it all kind of just looked like metal moving around. So that's really cool. Moreover, the film's decision to showcase a variety of locations and take us kind of all over the world, it makes it really fun. Some urban landscapes to exotic and breathtaking natural environments. The backdrop of the film really enhances the sense of adventure, and it's also just a fun juxtaposition to see the Transformers in some of these backdrops. It really elevates their larger than life presence in this world, and it turns into really a visual spectacle by the end of the film. I will say there's some stuff towards the end, and try to stay away from spoilers. But it just makes it really fun. The way that the movie closes out, leaving the door open for possibilities that were probably some people that hadn't even imagined, are really fun. It's just a really well crafted conclusion, and it I hope it sparks the curiosity of the audiences to go check out this Transformers world. And this is even before the mid credit scene. So this is actually like some of the closing moments of the film. So I think this film successfully captures the essence of the 90s. It captures what it's like to be a kid, grabbing your Transformers and just kind of smashing them together. I love the introduction of the Maximals into this world. And like I said, I hope we explore some of the other characters more in the future because I really like their character designs and I think their abilities, and when you see them maximized and stuff like that, like it's all really fun. Like it's just this movie is just a lot of fun. So it's definitely a worthy successor to the movie that we got a few years ago in Bumblebee. So it's still pretty much that time. I think the only thing I will say is I forgot to mention, or maybe I did talk about Pete Davidson as Mirage. I think your mileage will vary as much as you can handle Pete Davidson. That's probably the only thing I would say as a caveat. I didn't mind. I think his performance was pretty interesting and kind of charming, and funny in a lot of ways. But I know that he has a very strong presence, I think, that may not be up to everyone's cup of tea. So there you have it. That's Transformers Rise of the Beast. As you know, I've seen The Flash. We'll have a review for it next week before the movie comes out. Let us know what else you want us to talk about. Hopefully, we get to watch a lot of these summer blockbusters, maybe a little bit early, some screening, stuff like that, and we'll have coverage for that in the channel. Also, stay tuned because, as I mentioned, I'm at Fan Expo Dallas, so I will definitely have a bunch of content from the convention. And if you see me around, say hi. So, as always, thank you for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Saturdays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Stay tuned. We have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff here in the channel. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye bye.